Get ready for an immersive and intense experience as we take you on a journey into the brutal world of Hell Let Loose. This multiplayer first-person shooter immerses players in the gritty realities of warfare with stunning graphics and incredibly realistic gameplay. Join us as we take a look at the game in action and see for yourself why Hell Let Loose is considered one of the most realistic and immersive war games on the market. From the roar of gunfire to the feeling of being on the front lines, this game will transport you to a world of brutal warfare and test your ability to survive. Let's dive in. I'm Peter Porker and welcome to Hell Let Loose. If you haven't played this game yet, let me introduce it to you and then tell me down in the comments below what you think, and if you download it, let me know, because I need more people to play with. So, Hell Let Loose, it's a multiplayer, tactical, first-person shooter that is nothing like your Call of Duties or your Apex Legends or any of that crap. It's much slower, it's much more tactical, and teamwork is essential. Now, it was developed by Australian studio Black Matter and then published by Team 17. The players in the game fight in iconic battles of the Western and Eastern fronts of World War II at platoon level. Each team consists of multiple smaller rifle squads of 6 soldiers, armoured squads of 3 soldiers, or recon squads of 2 soldiers. As of October 2022, there are only 2 game modes, Warfare and Offensive, and I'll go into a bit more detail about them a little bit later on. Now, the game was originally released as an early access title on the 6th of June 2019. Why that date? Well, it was the 75th anniversary of the Normandy D-Day landing. What better day to release a World War II game? The full release of the game came in July 2021, and then later on in 2021, on the 5th of October, it was also released for PS5 and Xbox Series X. As far as I'm aware, there are no plans to release it for PS4 or Xbox One or any earlier consoles than the next gen, because I genuinely don't think the systems can handle it. I mentioned earlier about the 2 game modes. Now, I could already hear you. 2 game modes? Is that it? Trust me, the game doesn't need any more. So, the 2 game modes, Warfare and Offensive. In both modes, the map is divided into sectors and locations that each team seeks to capture and control. The Warfare mode, which tends to be people's favourite, is won by either controlling all sectors at any given point in time or by controlling a majority of them when the timer runs out. So it essentially functions as a massive game of capture the flag. Now, the offensive game mode is slightly different. The defending team controls all sectors on the map, and it is the offensive team's job to capture all objectives before the timer runs out. If they don't, they lose. If the defending team can prevent the offensive team from capturing the objectives, they win. It's as simple as that. Next up, I'll go through some of the squad breakdowns. Your standard squad is made up of your squad lead, or the officer, and the officers can deploy spawn points for their squad and teammates, control who is in their squad, and use a command voice channel to talk to other officers and the commander. You then have your riflemen. They are the backbone of the team, equipped for standard infantry combat. They can deploy a small ammo box that allows us 4 uses of munition refills for the player or their teammates, keeping them in the fight. You then have the assault class. They are built for fighting and suppressing the enemy, with an array of primary weapons that can deal with most combat situations. These tend to be submachine guns and frag grenades and smoke grenades and whatnot. Next, you have the automatic rifleman, which is designed specifically for laying down suppressing fire on enemy positions and forcing the enemy to keep their heads down in the dirt. On the American side, this is with the Browning automatic rifle, or the BAR, and on the German side, I believe, is the STG-44. Next up, you have the medic. Now, medics are the only class that can revive down teammates, bringing them back into the fight. They're stocked to the brim with bandages and syringes to keep the comrades up and fighting. They do tend to only carry a rifle, smoke grenades, handguns, and then a small medic crate on certain loadouts. You then have your support class. Now support is the only standard class that can lay down supply crates for other players to build the likes of spawn points, bunkers and fences on objective points. Now these guys tend to have either a rifle or an SMG, frag grenades, small ammo box and explosive box, bandages and the hammer to help build all the stuff that he needs to build. You then have the machine gunner who is specifically designed to lay down heavy suppressive fire but is reliant on other players for protection with the heft and unwieldiness of the weapons up close. Now this is my favourite class, and close range, the machine guns are awful. However, you get mounted up on that bipod and you are effective up to probably 500 or 600 metres. Next up you have anti-tank. Now these guys, they're the only class capable of damaging and disabling and even destroying enemy armoured vehicles. They are essential on maps like the one that you can see in the clip, Kakarov, the flatter maps where armour thrives. In the woodland sort of maps, they're not so effective unless you're going to use them to clear out bunkers and whatnot. And then finally, we have the engineer, one of the most important members of the team. They're less focused on active combat and instead focus their attention on repairs of friendly vehicles and the construction of fortifications and barriers on objective points. Now they also build the nodes that the commander needs to drop airstrikes, supply crates. Now the engineer works very closely with the commander. Now the commander uses resources to call in artillery and air support, deploy bonuses and supply drops onto the map for teammates. Their standard loadout tends to be a submachine gun, a handgun, bandages, a watch for building your outpost spawns and your garrison spawns, and binoculars which come in really handy to get a really good idea of what's going on in the battlefield. Now the commander is in charge of everyone, not just the infantry squads, but also the armour and the recon squads. Now the armour squads are made up of 3 players. You have your tank commander, who oversee the squad's armoured vehicle deployment, marking enemy armour and players to target fire on, and have access to the command voice channel alongside the commander and the other officers in other squads. Now they come with an SMG, a handgun, bandages and the binoculars, and then you have the gunner. Now this guy's fairly self-explanatory. He's in charge of the gun. You want a tank to be destroyed? This guy's your man. And then finally, you have the crewman. And now these are focused on piloting and maintaining armoured vehicles for the team. They can also engage enemy players as well and using the armour to support assaults and defences of objective points. As a result, they are the least equipped and armed class in the entire game. They usually only have a handgun and bandages, or a handgun and smoke grenades, and they also have a torch for vehicle repairs. Now the recon class is only 2 people, and there are only usually 2 recon squads available for each team in each game. The recon squads consist of a spotter. Now it's the spotter's job to relay information to the sniper squad teammate and the team at large about enemy player movements, keeping the peers up to date on possible ambushes, flanking manoeuvres and armoured support. Now these guys either carry a rifle or an SMG, frag grenades, anti-personnel mines or smoke grenades, and a small ammo box, bandages. They have the watch because they're in charge of dropping the outpost spawns for the recon team, and they also again have the binoculars, which you'd expect from a spotter, so that they can point out targets and get a really good idea of what's going on ahead of them. And then next, you have your sniper. They are the only class in the game with access to scoped rifles, tasked with harassing enemies at a distance, taking out troublesome machine gun nests and enemy marksmen, and working alongside the spotter to relay enemy information to the team. Now they are equipped with a sniper rifle, a handgun, frag grenades and bandages. And there we go, that's the team breakdown. Now the maps on this game are absolutely massive, so each one is around about 4 kilometers long, split up into grids on a map which are all 400 meters. There are 13 maps on this game at the moment. I'm not going to go into too much detail with the maps because I want to do individual videos in each map, good points, bad points, and best classes to use on each of these maps. However, what I do want to talk about is the development of the maps. So the playable maps in the game are designed based on historical World War II theatres of war by combining satellite imagery, archival aerial photography, and street-level recreation. According to the developers, the map for Normantown Saint-Marie-du-Mont is a 1-to-1 scale battlefield recreated through the methods mentioned before. And trust me, when you see it, it's uncanny. All you need to do, see a screenshot of the church in Saint-Marie-du-Mont, go onto Google Maps, find that church, and it is almost identical. The level of detail in this game is absolutely beautiful. The 13 maps that I mentioned are as follows. We have Carentan, Foy, Hill 400, Hertgun Forest, Kharkov, Kursk, Omaha Beach, Purple Heart Lane, Remagen, Saint-Marie-du-Mont, St. Margulies, Stalingrad, and finally Utah Beach. Now, if you would like an individual video for each map or one video for all maps, let me know in the comments down below. Similarly, if there's one map that you're interested in and you want to see a video on, again, comment down below, let me know, and I'll get right on it. The maps in Hell Let Loose are a crucial aspect of the gameplay experience. Each map is meticulously designed to capture the historical accuracy and atmosphere of the World War II battlefields. From the rolling hills of Normandy to the dense forests of Hurtgen, the maps provide a sense of immersion that makes you feel like you're truly on the front lines of war. The attention to detail is astounding, with landmarks and structures that match their real-world counterparts. The wide open fields of Carentan or the tight streets of Foy offer different challenges for players to adapt to, making each map feel unique and exciting. But it's not just the visuals that make the map stand out. The strategic elements, such as control points and choke points, add a layer of depth to the gameplay that keeps things interesting. The objective-based game mode also ensures that there's always something for players to fight for, making the matches feel intense and action-packed. In short, the maps in Hell Let Loose are not only beautiful to look at, but also offer a level of realism and strategic depth that makes the game truly stand out in the World War II genre. One thing that puts people off this game is the time to kill. The hardcore time to kill element in Hell Let Loose is one of the game's defining features. It's what sets it apart from other shooters and creates a truly intense and realistic gameplay experience. In most other shooters, you can take multiple shots and still be able to keep fighting, but in Hell Let Loose, one well-placed shot can mean the end of the fight. This makes every encounter feel like a life or death situation where every shot counts and every movement is crucial. This level of realism extends to the weapons as well. They all have unique recoil patterns and bullet drop, meaning you'll need to adjust your aim accordingly. It's not just a case of pointing and shooting. You'll need to master the weapons in order to be effective in combat. The time to kill also contributes to the game's objective-based game modes, making capturing and defending control points even more intense. The shorter time to kill means that one well-placed sniper can hold off an entire squad of enemy players, making the game even more strategic and action-packed. In short, the hardcore time to kill element in Hell Let Loose adds a level of realism and tension to the gameplay that you won't find in other shooters. It's not for the faint of heart, but for those who are up to the challenge, it creates an incredibly intense and rewarding experience. The community in Hell Let Loose is one of the game's greatest strengths. It's a place where players from all around the world come together to experience the thrill of the World War II combat. One of the most exciting things about the community is the variety of players you'll come across. Some are seasoned veterans who have been playing the game for years, while others are new to the genre. Regardless of skill level, everyone is welcome, and there's always someone willing to help out a new player. The game also has an active and dedicated community of players that organise events, tournaments and custom games, adding an extra layer of excitement to the game. This community aspect also helps maintain the game's longevity as players keep coming back to play with friends and clanmates. The community also plays a vital role in the game's development, as the developers actively listen to feedback and suggestions from the players to improve the game. This level of interaction between the developers and the community creates a sense of ownership and pride in the game, making the community feel like they are truly part of the game's development. Basically, the community aspect of Hell Let Loose is an integral part of the game, bringing players together from all around the world to experience the thrill of the game. Whether you're a seasoned veteran or a new player, the community welcomes you with open arms and offers a truly unique and enjoyable experience. The military simulation genre is very niche, and it's not for everyone, and Hell Let Loose was my introduction into this genre. I've since played the likes of Squad, Ready or Not, and while they're enjoyable, I don't get the same satisfaction from playing them as I do from Hell Let Loose. For me, it's probably my favourite game I've ever played, and it's a game that I keep coming back to time and time again. I just can't get enough of it. Let me know down below what you guys think. Any questions you got, any ideas for videos, let me know down below. I'm not going to sit here and pretend that I don't rage at the game. Just making the clip for this video, I raged so many times. especially when you get people camping outpost spawns or garrison spawns. You spawn in and you're dead straight away. It's infuriating, but it's all part of the experience. And there we go. That is my introduction into Hell Let Loose done. Thank you all so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, leave a comment down below. It helps more than you know, especially seeing as I'm now trying to grow this channel. And also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Make sure you click the bell to make sure that you know when the next Hell Let Loose video goes up. And also, if you want to see more detailed gameplay, make sure to check out my Twitch channel, link down below. Peace.